Hey guys, how's it going? Webhub Sisinthi here. In this video, I'll basically talk about how you can use Phantom Buster in the safest possible way. Like, there is probably no safer way to use it other than this. And in fact, it's so safe that even Phantom Buster doesn't really recommend this for LinkedIn, but I do because probably LinkedIn is not trying to detect it today, but they might try to detect it tomorrow, and you should be equipped with every possible way to be safe, right? Again, don't try this all these kind of automations on your personal accounts. Just for educational purposes, you can try it out in probably some account, but don't try it on your personal account. I don't do any kind of automations on my personal account, so just be safe out there. All right. There you go. The first thing that you should definitely use when you're using Phantom Buster is a proxy, right? What do I mean by proxy? Why should you use it? Let's imagine you're in India right now. You have your LinkedIn app installed on your phone, and every time when you connect to LinkedIn, there's an IP address based on your Wi-Fi connection, right? And the IP address clearly says that you're in India, right? Now, when you're doing automations using Phantom Buster, it runs on cloud. It doesn't run on your machine. It doesn't run on your Chrome. It runs on cloud. That means the IP address of the account login, usually Phantom Buster logs into your account using your cookie, your session cookie, right? Every time it logs in, it basically logs in a different part of the world altogether. So at any point of time, LinkedIn can clearly see that something is going wrong here because you have your LinkedIn account being accessed from India, and the same account, there's automation happening. I mean, and the same account is doing some kind of other activity on some other part of the world, and it cannot happen because you cannot be in two different places at one point of time. And LinkedIn also has it against iOS that you should not be sharing your account credentials. But here I've taken Archana's permission to use her account, so it's actually fine. But again, right, it's actually, I mean, if LinkedIn has to find you, they will find, right? So what should we do here so that so that LinkedIn treats us that we are in the same place where the automation is running. You control where it is running. You show LinkedIn that it is running from a specific IP address. That is where you use proxy. So that once you start using proxy, it basically shows that, hey, LinkedIn, I'm at US, and you only access LinkedIn also on your phone, also on your Chrome browser, as by basically saying LinkedIn that I'm using it from US. But it doesn't matter where you're using it. You basically are bluffing LinkedIn that, hey, I'm using it from this XYZ location, but you probably are using it in two, three different places. But you're showing LinkedIn that you're using from one place. And for that to happen, you use something called as proxy, right? The proxy that Phantom Buster suggests is Proxy Mesh. So that is what I would suggest you do. It costs $10 a month, and obviously you would definitely want to use this if you are using Phantom Buster, right? You can select the basic one, Proxy Mesh 10. Once you make the payment, you get four things: username, port, IP, port, username, and password. There are four things that you receive, and what you have to do is you have to enter these details here. You go on the profile tab here, go to IP and proxies. Once you do that, as you can see here, that there are a list of proxies that Phantom Buster is automatically using. It's using 22 IP addresses, and this changes on the go. Like, these are not constant, and it's using from US West. That is, if you don't use proxy, your LinkedIn will be logged in from US West. But what you can do here is you can buy a proxy, and the beauty of this is you can choose it from multiple locations. They have a list of locations. Let me quickly find that for you guys. uh, as you can see, they have 7 US proxies, UK proxies, France, Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Japan, Singapore, Australia. uh, Also provides North America, Europe, Asia servers, 99% uptime and all that. So they have multiple proxies. You can actually select the location while you're making the payment, right? Once you select the payment, you basically get something called an address, which is basically like an IP address. You can copy paste that. For more information about this, right, I'll be tagging you guys. I'll be putting this link up if you really need more information. It's pretty straightforward, so I don't think you would need anything as such. But again, right, it basically gives you our details that you have to copy. The address goes here, the username goes here, the password goes here, and you click on add proxy. Once you do that, the proxy will get added, and all the automations that will run will be on your own proxy. You can also add the same proxy to your Chrome. In case you want to use LinkedIn on your Chrome browser, you can go to settings, uh, search for proxy, open proxy settings. This is something that opens up, right? You can select a web proxy and enter the same details, the proxy server, port, click on this, username, password, and connect. What this basically does is your whole browser will run based on that specific IP address. So when your automation is running and also you're using a LinkedIn on your own browser, it basically shows that you are in the same place, right? Now, I strongly recommend you not to personally use it. You can set up the proxy server on your phone too. You can just YouTube it. In fact, I'll put up a link for that. It's very straightforward. Again, it's a copy paste of IP, port, username, and password. But I strongly recommend, if you're doing automation for a month, just refrain yourself from using it on your phone. If it's really needed, you can use it on your Chrome browser by using the same proxy address. This way, you make it almost impossible for LinkedIn to detect your IP addresses as such, which makes it safe for you guys. But again, right, I would say almost impossible, because if LinkedIn really wants to crack down on you, they will. They are super smart, right? Obviously, they're super smart. Now the other thing, now that the proxy is out of the way, the other thing on other ways on how LinkedIn can detect you that you're automating when you do something which you as a human are not capable of. That is, for example, let's say you send out 150 invitations in 10 minutes. This is something which a regular human being can't do, right? Let's say 150 invitations in 1 minute, the speed of your settings and things like that. So here are your safe settings that you should do. If you are on a free account, don't send more than 180 messages to 120 messages on a daily basis. Maximum number of connections requests that you should not cross more than 50. 50 is a safe number, but you can go up to 100, 150. But again, right, if you have a free account, just refrain from doing that, right? Again, outstanding invitations, that is that when you send invitations and that person has not got back to you, don't send more, no, don't have more than 1500 outstanding invitations. And if you have a free account, you should not be searching for more than 30 more than 150 to 200 profiles on the go. So there are a lot of limitations that you should follow. But once you have a premium account, let's say you're planning to do automations for the specific month, and obviously not many people do automations forever, right? When you're trying to do that, take premium for a month or two and use it, because once you take premium, all your limits get extended. For example, number of messages almost becomes unlimited. Number of invitations, I would still say stick to a limit of 150, 200. I'll talk about the specific limits when we come to those specific modules. I'm just trying to brush you through a few basic things. Number of profile searches becomes unlimited when you have premium. So again, check it out. Think what you want to do with automation, and based on that, if you think taking a premium account makes sense for you, you should absolutely do that, because it's totally worth it, right? That's more about staying safe on LinkedIn. Again, guys, try to stay safe. LinkedIn doesn't allow automation. I don't do automation on my own profiles anymore. I never actually did. But again, I'm teaching you for educational purposes only. So make sure you don't overdo things. Stay in your limits, stay safe. You should be fine. See you on the next one.